Good day everybody, this is Christ Psycho and today we'll be covering over the balance changes of Season 3 2024 and their effects on the game. Starting off with arguably one of the most widely used weapons in rank. The DRH has received a reduction to its head multiplier. This means that it can no longer achieve a 2-shot kill by landing both shots to the head, making it less effective at challenging head glitches. However, it is still a very strong option due to its excellent and relatively consistent 3-type TTK. If you still want to be able to have the potential for headshots, you can use the HVK-30 or the AK-47 instead. The KN-44's horizontal recoil has been reduced, which should make it more reliable at taking longer ranged gunfights. Since the KN has phenomenal range and BSA, this actually brings it in line with its main competitors being the LK-24 and the Kilo. The HBR-A3 now has a 1.2 lower arm multiplier, which when combined with the torso multiplier, allows it to reduce shots to kill in the second range fairly reliably and effectively extending the 4-shot range to 35 meters. This makes it more viable at mid-ranged, however it still suffers from having less than ideal recoil and some of the worst iron sights in the game. The Oden's upper arm multiplier has been increased to 1.05, matching that of the lower arms, making 2-shot kills in the initial range more consistent. Despite this, it is still an extremely punishing weapon to use due to the slow fire rate while being outclassed by DMRs like the SKS and the Val FMJ. Moving on to the SMGs, the MAC-10 received a noticeable buff to the bullet speed along with a minor range increase. This will help to mitigate its lack of range, however the lack of any distinct advantage over other SMGs keeps it from being anything other than an off-meta pick. The MX-9's range has been slightly increased and the large caliber ammo, which you should be using anyway, now adds a 1.14 lower arm multiplier, giving the potential to 4-shot in the second range. The horizontal recoil has also been reduced, but the difference is quite negligible, which prevents it from being an upper tier option. The OTS-9
The OTS-9 now has a 1.1 times stomach multiplier along with receiving a slight range buff. With this change, getting 4-shot kills in the initial range is practically guaranteed, while also making the potential 4-shot in the second range actually achievable, effectively doubling the potential 4-shot range, bringing it more in line with the other upper tier SMGs.
Another SMG that might see a place in the meta is the QXR, which has been buffed to the moon. For starters, it now has a 1.1 stomach multiplier, which allows it to achieve a 4-shot kill more reliably in the initial range for an extremely fast TTK of 180 milliseconds with enhanced bullet. It also helps to improve the TTK at longer ranges, being able to kill at 360 milliseconds at long range. Yes, you heard that right, an SMG is capable of outgunning ARs at long range. And to further support this range potential, its BSA has been significantly improved, going from one of the worst in its class to one of the best. Enhanced Bolt will also improve ADS time by a massive 16%, which makes it on par with other close quarters SMGs. To offset some of these changes, the range profile with Enhanced Bolt has been reworked slightly, but overall, this is a net buff. The QXR, ever since it's been nerfed to the ground back in 2021, has long been plagued by poor BSA and below average handling, but after this buff, those issues have been fully nullified and then some. This gun has been brought back from the dead and it's back for revenge. Okay. Being easily one of the best options in the game when it comes to flex SMGs, featuring phenomenal TTK at all ranges, combined with mobility on par with other aggro SMGs and enough accuracy to take most ranges. Going back to something that isn't as interesting, the 5.56 ammo conversions for the AGR 5.56 now have a 1.1 upper arm multiplier. This doesn't do a whole lot since it only gives the potential to achieve a 4-shot in the second range, but that requires you to land all 4 shots to the upper body, so good luck with that. The 60-round mag has also been reworked to have very minimal penalties to ADS time, but a heavy cost to reload time, and on a weapon that reloads this slow, you will definitely feel it. Overall, the AGR still remains as a viable off-meta pick thanks to its excellent range and BSA paired with its strafe speed. And even less impactful is the buff to the chicom, now having a 105 stomach multiplier. This means that you are guaranteed to 1 burst as long as none of your shots hit the legs. But given that you already guaranteed the 1 burst with 1 upper body shot, you won't exactly notice yourself getting more 1 burst kills. The Bruen's initial range has been increased by 5 meters, meaning that you won't have to boost range as much to have a good 4-tap range. A useful change, but since it suffers from a lack of reserve ammo, it won't be a meta pick anytime soon. The same can be said about the Dingo, which now has a bullet speed increase to 1000 meters per second, which will reduce the TTK decay or distance, which helps with hit registration consistency. Still, it suffers from mediocre overall stats, so this buff won't change much. But this is where the patch starts to go downhill, with thermite for some ungodly reason having its radius and damage increased, requiring one less tick to kill overall. This makes it much more lethal and effective at clearing objectives and getting easy kills. So yeah, thermites are back to being annoying once again like they were 2 years ago. No clue on what the devs were thinking. The cluster grenades have also had their damage increase, and while they aren't quite as consistent at getting kills, it is still a very strong option at clearing and weakening enemies who are holding objectives. And to add insult to injury, the duration of the concussion grenades now lasts half a second longer, making them even more annoying as there is more time to easily take out the stunned enemy unless they have survival training. Packs from the vulture perk now heals you for 10 extra HP, making it even more viable as a quick fix alternative for aggressive players who intend on going for longer streaks. The wheelson's fire rate has been significantly improved, with the fire interval going down by 25%, allowing you to clear hardpoints more effectively. This is actually a very underrated score streak for hardpoint as long as you can handle the awkward controls. The cost of the Hawk X3 has been increased by 80, effectively requiring an additional kill to obtain. And finally, we move on to the operator skills. The damage resistance from the equalizers has been reduced. This will make taking out enemies with skill active slightly easier to kill, but it is still an extremely strong option for punishing objectives due to the sheer lethality. And besides, a 25% damage resistance is still a lot. The ballistic shield's duration has been reduced by 10 seconds. This is quite a significant change, as users will not be able to camp in hardpoints while being basically invincible for prolonged periods of time. An incredibly annoying strat that is near impossible to counter. And that covers all the balance changes introduced to the Season 3 update. What do you think about them? Do any of the weapons need a buff or a nerf? Let us know in the comments down below. Remember to leave a like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. This has been Christ Psycho, going dark.